Hey there folks, I am the Mighty Plantain. Thanks for checking out this video. We have got Bouch with the epic COVID beard going.
Still.
We've already talked about the Canadian truck driver. I think I've run out of fucking insults for this guy tonight. I was trying to think of some while I was taking a piss
last week.
Yeah, and I didn't come up with anything better than what I've already dropped on you. So we'll just leave it at that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Even though it does look like some wild animal is just suckling on the teat of your chin.
I'm still saying it's not as bad as James Harden yet.
That's fine. That's fine. You got that rabid possum just clinging to your face. Anyway, we're not talking about your beard tonight. We're talking about beer.
Which is what we should do every night.
Well, yes,
talk about beer.
But you have provided a welcome distraction in these times.
And you know what I'm going to say?
We're going to need a minute on that one. You folks at home don't know what the after effect of a Bouch fart is. I do. I have seen him clear out strip clubs before.
He who farts in church sits in
his own pew. Yeah, we've all heard it. Anyway, either I'm drunk or this is not hitting us that bad. So we're going to talk about Grateful Grain Brewing Company's Fortitude Stout. Grateful Grain, thanks by the way for bringing the beer over.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. This is their small batch. Just says it's a stout from Grateful Grain in Monmouth, Maine.
Yeah, on Route 126, coming from Bangor, coming from Gardner. The Gardner exit off from 295. That first Gardner exit as you go through the toll plaza there. It's
local
right.
Folks,
it's right there after you go through the toll plaza. Take that exit and take a right. You will go all the way down towards Lewiston, the Dirty Loop, and it's right there as you cross into South Monmouth. It's actually right there next to South Monmouth Market, and they have, from what I understand, a pretty good range of beers.
Nice.
The only one that the place that I got this from had was this one. This is the only one they had from Grateful Grains. I'm hoping that they will actually get some more here and there.
Yeah, I've heard lots to tell about the place. So
yeah, and I've actually I was doing a route per my job.
Paper route?
A paper route.
Fucking glorified paper boy, you.
In that area, so I was driving by this thing every day. So I was like,
gotcha.
We gotta try this at some point.
And it is on one of the to-do lists to hit this brewery in person. So
yep, and actually, because it's really about 40 minutes away from us, so it's not really that far.
Not that bad, honestly, in terms of main travel. So
right,
we don't talk about miles; we talk about time.
Yeah,
you've all seen the memes.
Yep. And I saw this, and this is the first time I saw it in any of the stores, so I was like, I guess I might as well get this and try it out.
Nice. And we appreciate it.
Here it is.
So, you local folks know where it is now.
Yep.
And you folks from away know where to stop to spend your tourist dollars.
Well, actually...
You basically just got directions, so...
Actually, it's not too far from Mixer's nightclub. You remember that place?
No, neither does anybody else who's been there.
That's true.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And actually, that place is still open too.
Oh my God! It survived all these years.
Yep.
Oh shit! That is creamy. Whoa! 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 Oh! 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 See.
Wow! That was almost like a Guinness.
My biggest problem with putting a decent head on a beer is the fact that I don't pour aggressively enough. Some of you fuckers pointed that out in the Bud Light Nitro or Budweiser Nitro video. I've seen the comments. Yes, I did not pour aggressively enough to put a decent head on it. This is why. Because when I've got a good beer that has a good head on it, I pour too aggressively, and this happens.
Yeah.
And I sit here
and
having
really,
to fucking wait.
that's one of the issues with different beers anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
you never know how it's going to pour out.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why you can get a good head or a flat head.
Let me tell you something, man. There's a big difference between good head and shitty head.
That's true.
For those of us who know versus those
Well,
of us who haven't a clue.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about beer.
All right. Well, anyway.
We're not talking
I'm
about
gonna try
sex.
to
We're
knock
talking
this
about
down
beer.
While we look at this and see just how fucking dark that is. There is not
really,
a lot of bubbling coming up through there.
Really, there's one thing that actually describes this. Guinness.
Yeah, no, I heard you when you mentioned the Guinness before. And this is a very, very dark beer.
The one
that
difference
has very little bubbling coming up through. Yep. There's no nitro widget. This is not a nitro pour in any way, shape, or form.
And this can says nothing as a nitro. But some of the bubbles actually are a little bit bigger than some of the ones for Guinness when you actually pour it like that. I'm kind of wondering really what it's going to taste like.
Yeah.
I did get a hint of it, of a really good stout nose to it.
I'm definitely smelling some roasty notes from back here.
Yes.
Damn, look at that. Even just slowly pouring.
And
that's bubbling
the one thing, the other reason why I grabbed this is when you go into any beer store, all you're finding right now is IPAs.
They're meeting the market demand.
All over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, if you can find a stout or a porter or anything like that that has a different flavor than what's actually hitting the market right now, is gold. And to me, it's gold anyway. I know a lot of people want that real bitter, piney,
that's just it. Like
tree
I said,
type flavor. It's like, really? Come on.
The IPAs are popular because that's what the market is demanding right now. But yeah,
right,
some
but
of
it's
us
still,
appreciate other styles as well.
Right, and you're gonna have other different tastes and flavors, and just going to a beer and having it taste like a pine tree just does not friggin'.
We all know you're not a big IPA guy.
I mean, I have, like I've said before, I have found a few that stand out.
Mm-hmm.
And I would get on a regular basis. But I want something that has, and like Davis would say, he likes the dark beers, but he also likes the IPAs. Yeah. And actually, I like more of the dark beers because they have better complex flavors.
Yeah.
IPAs do not have complex flavors, as far as I can tell. Well,
for your palate, maybe not.
For my palate,
yes,
no. But I would rather have something that
would disagree about the
has the complex flavors, but doesn't have the overpowering.
Little editing jump there. I don't know if you guys heard it or not, but the battery died on the GoPro because Bouch was getting a little long-winded. Anyway,
which
happens.
Is understandable. Mm-hmm. And I know I was just talking about friggin' the difference really in the flavors between IPAs and stouts.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I had just said IPAs don't have complex flavors, but yes, they do.
Yeah.
And I have said that and the one IPA that I will give a friggin' 5 out of is the Marsh Island Swayze.
Oh, yes.
Which is awesome as far as, and even then, that's not classified as an IPA, is it?
Yes, it is.
Okay, it was.
It's a local brewery, Marsh Island, that
Yes.
does make some great IPAs.
Yes.
And Bouch has been a fan of theirs for a while.
Right, and
understandably,
that Swayze IPA to me is actually perfectly balanced as far as complex flavors,
very well done.
along with, but it's not overly hoppy, and that's what I hate is those bitter hoppy flavors, which I've had before in a variety pack that I got for Christmas one day. Well, not one day, but for Christmas. which actually they taste just like a pine tree. And that's all there is flavor. I mean, the hoppiness is just so overwhelming. And that's what we're getting a lot of today is a lot of hoppy or the IPA flavors. I know you've tasted actually quite a bit of them. Ones that you've done them yourself. You've done videos of them.
And I tend to key in on pine and citrus.
Right. And one of the things actually we were talking about before we started is right now it's hard to find anything that you actually haven't tried yet, along with me. And I mean, I was trying to get some things today, so I'd take a picture of it and say, "Have you tried this?" And you were like, "No."
Yep.
I was like, "Okay." And I know we hadn't tried this before. Anyway,
no,
we hadn't tried anything from Grateful Grains.
Yeah, you got lucky today. You found at least 2 or 3 beers.
Well, I found 2 so far.
Yeah.
So far that we've done, and it's the purple haze, purple
haze,
purple rain.
Yeah.
That we just did from Kushner, which was very good. And it's really hard to find anything other than IPAs in this area.
These days, yes.
But they are starting. Some of the porters, some of the stouts are actually starting to come through from different breweries, different local breweries. I'll put it that way. Because you can still find some of the national breweries like Dogfish Head and all them that are putting some stouts out now.
You mentioned bitterness. I'm getting a lot of roasty bitterness off of this.
I am a little bit too.
It's slightly reminiscent, actually, of hobby bitterness.
Yes. And I'd actually say there might be some hops in this, but it's kind of subtle.
Yeah.
Very subtle.
I'm getting more hints of coffee and chocolate.
Yes.
A very roasty bitterness, but some mocha notes to it.
Yep. A little bit of mocha, yes.
Overall.
Smells good.
Aroma.
And the head finally kind of died down a little bit.
Well, we replaced a battery in the camera and stuff too, so.
And I've been ranting for the last 5 minutes. Which actually is probably a good thing because I'm finally getting out here and saying, hey, we need something different.
Exactly. That's got a nice heavy mouthfeel. It's got some body to it. But not an overwhelming amount of body.
Medium feel. Almost has a little bit of it has almost like a peanut butter background. It's not overly. I mean, you could definitely taste the malts in that, whatever they used. I mean, there's not much of a description on the can about it, about what they actually used, but.
No, in that, because I'm getting a heavier mouthfeel than medium, so so beer taste is subjective, so we're picking up on different things, but I'm definitely getting that nuttiness that you're talking about.
Yeah, that peanut buttery type. It's tough to describe.
I'm getting roastiness, hazelnut maybe.
Yes.
Like Nutella.
Yes. Well, see, I've never tried Nutella yet, so... Have you? It does have
here and there, yes.
It does have that hazelnut type.
Yeah, and that's what all I can think is, I'm getting nuttiness. I know what he's talking about with the nuttiness, but I'm also getting roasted nut. Oh, that's fucking hazelnut.
It's more hazelnut flavor now that you mentioned it. But I was thinking it was more kind of like a bittery type flavor of
a bitter nutty,
peanut. You know when you actually get the peanuts when you actually
chunky
open up
style
the can.
Peanut butter that's really well roasted.
Yes,
Yep.
Kind of like that.
I'm sorry.
That
I know I'm cutting you off,
Yep.
but I know
But
where you're going.
no.
It's
It is like that.
Really well roasted peanuts.
Yep. Or when you actually open up the planter's nuts and you start picking at them, and you see one that's a little bit darker.
Oh, the Redskins.
And you see those little bit darker ones, and that's actually
Redskins peanuts.
has
that
that
was
flavor.
not some fucking reference to anything else you guys are thinking.
Yeah, well,
Yeah. No, I'm just
I know
putting that
what
out
you're
there
saying.
as a disclaimer
I know what you're
because
saying.
you know what I'm saying when I say
Yes.
Redskins peanuts.
Yep.
But other people might take it.
But no, and that's actually what it tastes like. Really, it has that. It's that when you get that one that's just roasted just a little bit more, or it's just starting to turn rancid, is what they actually would call it.
They would call it, but it's not.
But it's not.
Use that word because it's
right. But it's still.
Yeah,
well, no, that's actually what it is.
Yeah, no. I'm right
it
there
just
with
has that when you go through and you're picking at the nuts. You go one at a time, or you just grab a couple, and you have that one in there that just has that little bit of a flavor.
It's a little crispy and wrinkly.
And that's what I'm getting at. Right, and that's actually, it's not off-putting neither. It's really a good flavor.
Well, I definitely understand why they went with Fortitude versus crispy wrinkly nuts. Because crispy wrinkly nuts would be a bad name for a beer.
The thing is,
overall,
and we've said it before, a good beer actually changes flavor every time you taste it. Or you get something flavor. You get that rotating flavor as to what it's supposed to taste like. And this one, you're getting a little bit of that flavor, and then when you take another sip, you take a little bit more in the sip, it changes just a little bit. Now I'm not getting as much as the peanut butter. I'm getting more of the mocha, what you said. There is some coffee notes to it. There is some darker roasty notes to it. And I don't know what they used for...
shit, did we just have a simultaneous burp? That doesn't happen that often. Anyway, you know what they used for...
We'll use another one. I don't know what they use for... for hops, actually, to give them that little bit of a flavor. Because there is a little note of hops in here.
See, I thought any bitterness I was getting was just from the roasted malt, but if you're getting hoppy notes...
I'm getting not real hoppy, it's really subtle. So what they've used is I actually think they've done a little bit more of the bitter malty notes. But I'm
definitely getting malty bitterness.
Yes, the malty bitterness. But I'm also getting a little hoppy bitterness, not much. So they've actually have used some kind of combination of the malt and the hops. But I'm getting a little bit more complex flavor. And every time it changes, every time you sip it, it changes. And that's the sign of a good beer. In my view, anyway.
No, I'm right there with you. I'm definitely getting some revolving notes. Like I said, hazelnut before. I am getting that overly toasted peanut flavor that you mentioned. I'm getting the coffee, the chocolate, and the coffee together with just mocha. It's a very well put together, well balanced stout. I'm hitting this with a 4.5 out of 5 because I'm getting a lot of revolving flavors. There's nothing making me go, wow, that's a perfect 5 out of 5. But it is as close as you're going to get to a perfect stout. Without being unique and different enough to put it into that perfect stout, just for the record.
For me, for the record, for me to be a perfect stout, it would have to have a little bit more coffee note to it.
Well, you're a coffee guy anyway.
Well, I like the Midnight Stout from Sea Dog. The coffee porter, that seemed to be more the Lawyer Up coffee from Kushnot.
From Kushnot, yeah.
From Kushnot. Actually, it was a coffee porter. It's more of a porter, but it actually tasted to me more like a stout. as far as the coffee flavor.
Oh, that was a very heavy beer.
Yes.
It's closer, like you said, to a stout in
Than a
character
porter.
than a porter, but it was still a porter. So.
Right. But, I mean, there are some other, really, a lot of people are going to measure this against Guinness.
Well,
as far as a stout
do
goes.
with any stout,
And stouts are, I mean, Guinness is pretty much...
kind of a nice yardstick.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we always use Sam Adams as a yardstick as far as the Boston Lager and
for any
some of the
beer
other
in
ones.
general.
For any beer in general. And really, I mean, Boston Lager, right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, bottom line...
Bottom line is 4.5.
4.5. Okay. And
because it
I'm
does
say
actually, it is very good.
The only thing keeping me from putting it at a perfect 5 out of 5 is the fact that there's nothing unique or different about it that's making me go, wow.
Right.
Because that's my yardstick for a 5 out of 5 is a wow reaction. I just want to say that there is nothing wrong with the stout. There is nothing.
No, it's a very solid stout,
mm-hmm.
and it's actually it's better than some of the other ones that we've had. That's for sure.
It is a perfectly balanced, well put together stout. Yep. It's got rotating flavor. It's got all the flavor profile I want from it. It's just not giving me something unique or different enough to put it into that 5 category, right. Which is why I'm hitting it with a 4.5. It's almost there.
Yep.
But
it is still a very good beer.
And there was nothing negative to say about it. It's all positive.
All of it's positive.
So, anyway, I guess the bottom line is I want to hit it with a 5 out of 5, but I've been reserving those lately for beers that give me a unique and different wow experience. And this is like just under that wow reaction. But it is fucking good.
Very good beer.
Anyway, that's just a couple of
Grateful Grains.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't actually had it before at all.
Well,
not even on video.
First beer from them.
From them.
Period.
We haven't seen them at any of the beer fests or anything close to. No, we haven't. I know we haven't. Because I would have tried them. I would have tried them before then.
Yeah, no, I was saying I've been to a couple of New Hampshire beer fests that you guys haven't, so I'm thinking back and I don't remember seeing them there either. So, anyway.
No, and I actually don't think they actually do them.
No, but they should,
because they are a small. They're a smaller brewery. So
we'll hope to see you guys after the COVID crisis at some local beer fests because we know. The Bangor one is not happening this summer, so anyway.
Yep. Hopefully, actually, the Extreme is.
Well, that's down in Boston. That will be February. Let's hope.
Yep.
Well,
pardon. It sucks that already friggin' Oktoberfest has been canceled.
Yeah.
We never get to go out there, but...
No, it's in fucking Germany.
Germany.
And who can afford those plane tickets? Anyway.
True.
The hiccups have kicked in because we've waited too long. Hang on.
Yep. Well, now it's time for the next one.
I've got this.
All right. Well, you know what? Thanks for tuning in.
Yes.
Hit us up.
Make sure to like and share the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Till next time, folks.
Well, wait a minute. There's one other thing. If you or any of your friends, anybody else that you know of that has done a home brew and you want to get some opinions on it, we'll let this man know in the comments.
Or the email.
In the emails. Yep. Let him know. We can set up some way of actually
we can.
Getting it and trying it out. So just let him know because we will be honest about it.
Yep. Fair and balanced feedback. That's what we're all about on the channel, period.
That's what we try to do.
Brew or mass brew or micro brew. So.
Yep. And either liquor or beer.
Yes.
Or just some assorted jackassery too.
Oh, we're always open to viewer requests. The assorted jackassery just happens naturally.
That's true too.
Hopefully you guys are enjoying that.
Well, they are, because they do subscribe some once in a while.
Yeah.
You get a few extras here
They
and
seem
there.
to come in handfuls at a time.
Yeah. But we've got to get out and do some things, I think.
I think
also.
so. Yeah, we'll see.
And we haven't done any of the beer fest that we've been at for the last couple times, but
Yeah.
just because logistically it's kind of a pain in the butt. But
And honestly,
we will.
it's more fun to just sit back and enjoy the beers and get
That's
out
right.
there than it
That's
is
right.
to try and
But
cave the pressures of film.
the thing is, though,
Watch
we'll find more
Mm-hmm.
different things than what you'll actually find in the store. So
Yeah.
Just whatever.
You out of steam?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm ready for the next beer.
Folks, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.
Keep drinking.
Gulp.
But see now.
Hmm?
No, go ahead.
No, you were about to say something.
No, not on.
I'm waiting to see if this is comedy gold worth including or if it's... So go ahead.
Well, no. I was just gonna say that we should. I should do some beers that you have already done on video, and I should actually go back and
Just to see what the contrast is without the
yes,
the pressure of trying to agree or disagree with me.
right.
I hear you.
Well, that